What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's UFC 309 fight week, and today we are talking about the main event, Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. This is the fight that pretty much nobody wants, but it's happening anyways, and we have to break it down. Let's get into it. So this is a battle of two old men at the heavyweight division now who have a combined one fight in the past 4 years. Jon Jones, of course, in 2022 was able to submit Ciryl Gane in his debut at heavyweight and hasn't fought since. Stipe Miocic, on the other hand, hasn't fought in 4 years either, and his last fight was a loss as well. I mean, I don't even know where to begin in why this fight is happening, because it really doesn't make any sense when you have a clear-cut contender like Tom Aspinall, but here we are. Now, I do think people are overlooking Stipe Miocic a little bit in this fight. Yes, he hasn't fought in a long time, but the guy still has skills, and he's the GOAT of the heavyweight division for a reason. He's going to cause Jon problems, and he's not going to give up on the ground if Jon takes him down like Ciryl Gane did. But I also don't know how much of a threat on the ground he'll actually pose to Jon Jones. I mean, Jon, he's a great wrestler. We all know that, and being this much bigger and heavier, he's going to be so much more dominant in those positions on the mat that I think if it does go there, he'll just completely dominate Stipe. And Jon's going to be really excited because that 12-6 elbow rule is now gone. So, I mean, if he really wanted to, he could start throwing a bunch of those now and have no issues. But that doesn't mean it's going to be super easy. Again, like I mentioned, Stipe Miocic is the GOAT of the division for a reason, and he has real skills, especially on the feet. I think in the stand-up is where Stipe is going to want to keep this fight. I think he's going to be a little bit sharper on the feet. I'm not sure if he'll be better than Jon on the feet in a lot of the exchanges, but he'll definitely be a lot more of a problem there than he would be on the mat. And honestly, Jon Jones' striking isn't what it once was. I mean, if you look at his previous fights before the Ciryl Gane fight, the Dominic Reyes fight, the Gustafsson fight, fights that were close and that people thought he arguably lost, were him kind of getting pieced up on the feet a bit. I mean, he wasn't getting dominated by any means, obviously, but that's definitely where we saw would be the best area to beat a guy like Jon Jones. If you put on the pressure, if you hit like a truck, and you're in his face for a lot of the fight, you're going to give him problems, and that's your best chance at beating a guy like Jones. Because let's face it, Jon Jones, I mean, the guy, he's not a great person, let's be honest, but in terms of his skill in the octagon, I mean, it's next to nobody. The guy is talented everywhere. He's considered the GOAT of the sport for a reason. I mean, that's a completely other debate, but he is considered the GOAT of the sport for a lot of people, and it's for a good reason. He's very talented, he has a lot of skills, and he is going to be the better fighter in this fight. I have no doubts about that. And that's also, I guess, activity does play into it a bit. I mean, again, Stipe hasn't fought in 4 years. He's over 40 years old. Like, it's a tough scenario for him to come back after this long of a layoff and step in there with Jon Jones and actually win. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to do so. And I've heard that Stipe's been taking his training camp very seriously and that he is actually in really good shape ahead of this fight, but I can't really count on that. I mean, I got to look at what I see in front of me, and what I see is Jon Jones. And when I see Jon Jones, I think win, because Jon Jones doesn't lose. He just doesn't, and I don't think Stipe has the skills to beat him, honestly. I really don't. I think Jon will make this fight comfortable for him. I think that he will have problems. I think Stipe will definitely give him a tougher fight than Ciryl Gane did, but I still am going to favor Jon Jones to win. I mean, Jon Jones, we barely saw what he is at heavyweight. Honestly, there's a lot of question marks there. We don't know how good he is in this division, because when he went in there, he got kicked in the balls and then submitted Ciryl Gane a minute later. So, I mean, there's not much to look at there. He is very good. We know that from his work at light heavyweight, but heavyweight's a different game. The power, if he actually gets caught on the chin, how will that feel? If Stipe actually lands on him, how would that feel? How will Jon be in those type of situations? That's what I'm unsure of. But it's still not enough for me to pick against him, because from what I've seen, I know he has skills, and if he's just a lot bigger now, still has all those same skills, I don't see how he loses. Now, if this fight was against Tom Aspinall, this would be a completely different story. Tom, my opinion, is the best heavyweight in the world. He's well-rounded, good on the feet, good on the mat. He would give Jones a real run for his money, and apparently Tom Aspinall's going to be there at MSG. He's going to be in the crowd. Maybe he's going to try and get into the cage after John gets his hand raised and try and make that fight happen. That's honestly what I'm most curious with this fight. I don't even care about this fight that much on its own. I'm more interested in the aftermath. What happens? Are both guys going to lay their gloves down? Are both guys going to be retiring? Or is John going to step in there and say, you know what? I'm going to take on the young contender, the new guy on the block who everybody wants to see me fight, and I'm actually going to fight this guy. And then if John goes in there and beats a guy like Tom Aspinall at his age, I mean, I won't even be debating that he's the GOAT or not, honestly. He'll 100% be the GOAT in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't think he beats Tom Aspinall. I think there's a reason the Stipe fight's happening, and I have a really good feeling that Jones is just going to retire at the end of this. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. Let me know what you guys think, though. How do you see Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic playing out at UFC 309? Are you excited for this fight? Are you not excited for this fight? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say. Thank you all for watching. Be on the lookout for more UFC 309 content as the week goes on. This is not the greatest of cards, to be honest with you, but this fight and the Charles and Chandler fight are good enough to make me really excited for this card. So thank you all for watching once again. I'll see you all in the next one.